Hello everyone, welcome to new SLA video, and in this video we are gonna cover about cores, like how to obtain them, what are the best stats you should focus on, and most importantly what core you should give to your Sanjinu and some of the most popular hunters or the most used hunters. So I won't be covering each and every hunter like what core you should be using on them, but I will give you a general idea so you can make your own decision on based on these guide video. So before I get started on the course like how to get them and how to upgrade them, I just want to give you a quick note that I am a content creator for Netmo Armor, so you can support me on Netmo Armor content creator program, and I do send out weekly uh, redeem codes to every supporter. So if you are supporting me, I will send out the codes as soon as my videos get approved, as well as there is a special Discord role for all the supporters. So if you have any questions, you can directly ping me on Discord as well.
My Discord server.
So let's get.
The link will be in the description. So in the Discord server, we have a solo leveling arise category, and there we have a gear guide. In this gear guide, I have all the current hunters in the game with their gears and what you should be using on her. So like let's say for MMA Mere, we have the complete set, like what gear you should prioritize, what is the best gear, what is the best stats you should go, any special note for this particular hunter, and what code you should use. So we have for every hunter like this. So if you haven't joined the Discord server yet, you should join it and you can get the gear guide. It is made public for everyone. So it is under solo leveling arise category and it is covers all the gear guide. So it even have a filter option. So you can go ahead and filter like for fire. You can filter for fire and you will get all the fire units. You can even filter with the breaker, like which is the best breaker and what gear you should build on them. So that's all.
So let's get started with the video. So firstly, I'm gonna talk about three different types of scores and where to you get them. So first one is this one. So we have a mind core. So if you see here it's showing a mind core, then we have a body core, and lastly we have an energy core, and also called a spirit core. So these three type of cores, and you get these cores from WOBL. There is no other place you can get cores unless there is a event uh, given from the event, but you mostly get from either doing this Vulcan or Baron mode from WOBL. You get from all three game modes, easy, normal and hard. But if you see on the reward section, so if you see the easy mode only gives you up to epic, normal only gives you up to epic, and this only covers your mind and body core. It doesn't give you a spirit core. And if you go to the hard mode, it gives you legendary, but it only gives you mind and body core. It doesn't give you spirit again. So if you go to the Baron mode, so if you then on Baron mode you start getting more items. So even if you see on the Vulcan, you don't get a solidified stone to upgrade your cores. So only from Baron it starts. So if I go to the easy mode, there isn't, you get nothing from here. It's the same as the Vulcans, but from normal Baron, here you should start focusing on ideally. You get all three types of cores as well as the solidified stone to upgrade your cores. And from the latest new WOBLs, that is Deimos and the Yogamant, you get this extra material which lets you advance your cores from level 10 to level 15. So this material you only get from the new WOBLs. So you won't get it from Vulcan and Baron. So they are meant to get your cores to level 10. So for level 15 you need to do this Demios or Yogamant. So that covers your how to obtain your cores. Also you get selectors. So I ideally have a lot of them, but I don't get that lucky with this course because I'm looking for a specific stats and they give a random stats. So these are also good to have. You can choose and get try your luck with that. So now let's talk about level 10 course and how what you should avoid them. So firstly, you should only focus on the stats which has the additional HP, not the HP percentage. So if you I filter out the cores. Let's say I only want cores which has additional defense, additional HP, and additional reach. So ideally, you want to focus on these type of cores which has the main stat as additional attack, additional defense, and additional HP. You don't want to upgrade attack percentage. There is an exception for attack percentage which I will cover later on. You only want additional defense. There is no exception. You always want additional defense no matter what, and as well as the additional HP. You don't want HP percentage. So that's one thing. So next thing is you don't want to upgrade your epic cores. So if you are a new player, you are only getting epic and rare cores, so only get them to level 10. Don't use your solidified stones to, so if I get them to level 10, that's all. So this will only upgrade my core to level 10, but it won't give me 100%. So if you see here, there is a stat at enhancement level, which is currently 19%. But if I go to a level 10 core, let me find a level 10 core if I have one, like this one. So this is a level 10 core, but the advanced percentage is only 54%. So now if I want to get it to 100%, I need to use this solidified stone, which is a bad idea for a epic core. You always want to save those solidified stone for the legendary cores, which you will able to farm it from hard baron sooner or later. So ideally, if you are new, you should upgrade them to level 10. That's all. Don't use solidified stone to upgrade them to 100%. Then save those solidified stones for upgrading them for the legendary cores. Next thing, I want to focus on the stats. So stat wise, you ideally want to focus what you are missing. So let me show you. Let me just remove these cores from Sanjinu. Then I will show you, like, so this is the stat I'm getting from my gear, not from the course. So I've just unequipped it. So these are all the stats I'm getting from the gear, and this is okay. This is my current gear. Let me go back and see the stats. So I have 47k attack, and I have crit damage 192% and damage increase 20%. So this is a very good stats. But now if I see I want to improve my stats, I want to ideally improve my crit damage and damage increase. Defense penetration, not really a big deal. So I ideally want crit damage and damage increase. So you can also look for, like, if you are looking for, if your crit damage is very low, like consider 170% or 160%, so then you can go for the 3 crit damage cores. For me, I have 2 damage increase core. Let me show you what I use on Sung Jinyu. So for Sung Jinyu, I have attack percentage, this one. So which has a passive. When it is specifically equipped to Sung Jinyu, it will increase my attack by 5%. So this is one of the best cores you can have on Sung Jinyu. I don't suggest any other core on him. This is the best one you can have. I'm not talking about the damage increase. This stat will depend on what you are missing from your overall stat. And this attack percentage, I will cover why attack percentage is good for Sanjini. So I have this damage increase. So then I go on my second one. So second one, I'm getting a crit damage. So if you see, I don't even have the proper element. It's not even for the Sanjinu. I have a random dark element. So I have that one. And the lastly, I have this one, which decreases my anti recovery rate by 10%, but is also decreases my skill lamping congestion by 12%. So ideally for spirit core, this is the best one. So this should be your priority core if you are able to farm demos and the yoga mode, because this particular core is only farmable from those game modes. You won't get it from Baron or Vulcan. So from Baron you get this one, which is, and this one, which is also not a bad ones. So like, I go by priority wise, this should be your first priority with this particular passive, which decreases your MP consumption reduction. A second one should be your, whenever you are using ultimate skill, it gives you a 5% of your max MP. So these two are the best one. Apart from that, if I have to rank the third one, so this will be your third one, which restore your power gauge by 3% by doing a basic attack. And the last one will be this one, which gives you 20% MP when you are 30% lower. So this will be your last one and the least priority core. The highest priority for Sanjinu as well as for other hunters will be this particular core. So I have this one. Now if I check my stats, I have a good 210% crit damage and damage increase 34%. Now if I want, I can remove one more crit damage core and go for another damage increase core and increase my damage increase up more. But like crit damage is good, especially if you are in the late game. Next thing I want to cover, so I already covered what core stats you should focus on. Like for example, this damage increase, crit damage, damage increase. This ideally depends on your stats. So if I go to my other hunter, let's say if I go, let me remove this one. So quickly unequip it. So if I go and see my stats, this is the 8-piece grid on my Bogani. So if I see my stats, so the gear is very bad. So I have a damage reduction 13%, that is very bad. And the crit damage is very low, that is 157%, and damage increase 21%. So from this perspective, I see damage increase 20% plus, so this is good enough, but the crit damage is very low. So I ideally want to go first 2 crit damage cores. So let me just randomly grab a 2 crit damage core, this one, and another crit damage core, let's say this one. Now if I see my stats, now I'm good 200 above plus crit damage. So now I can have an option to go for a damage increase score. So this is how you min max your stats. So now if I see my stats, now I have a good 30% damage increase and 200 plus percent crit damage. So depending on what you are missing from your gear stats, you want to fulfill with your cores. So first thing should be your priority wise will be your perfect stats. So here like a additional attack and damage increase. This score I can give to anyone. I won't get the benefit of 5% attack, but for some hunters the attack effect doesn't even matter. Like for Goghani, this attack percentage doesn't even matter even if I give him this proper light core, because he skills offer defense. So this defense scalar doesn't have any effect on this increase attack by 5%. For them you want this one, which is increases their ultimate. When they use ultimate skill, their skill damage is increased by 20%. This one, or you can go for this one, which increases their core attack by 20%. Ideally you want the first the stats and the core with the proper stats and the core. Secondly will be your matching the elements. So matching the elements won't be your first priority, but matching the stats will be your first priority, because this 20% won't make a big difference if you are having a wrong stats like attack percentage or having a damage reduction on here. Same goes for the, so that was what you should cover. So for example, let's go for Cha. So for Cha I do have this one, but this has additional MP, so that's why it is only level 10. But if I have something same as this one, but it is a light one, so my first priority will be getting a good stat, that is additional attack and damage increase. Second priority will be my getting a light which increases her attack by 5%. So that, so she skills of attack, so that's a good option to have a increase attack percentage by 5%. Now let's talk about some other. So second core, that is body core. So firstly you want to check what your hunter scales of. Let's see for Goghani, he scales of users defense. So if you see, this one gives you additional attack, this one gives you additional HP, so this one gives you additional defense. So you want to prioritize additional defense core, that is a body core first for him instead of the mind and the spirit core. You want to prioritize this one. So in this one you want to go for this particular core. I have one, but this is for defense pen. So like this one, I have a epic core. So if you have a epic core, this is a very good one, which whenever user uses the ultimate skill, it grants a shield for 6% max HP. For the body core, you want to use this one for almost every hunter and as well as a Samjinu. Other, for other cores in this same category, like this one, which increases your defense by 6% when your HP is 70% or lower, which is not really a good one. Is even for Goghani, which he scales up by 6%, because you will have a healer on your team and they will be back up to 100%. Especially for the light team, they are very bulky, they have a big shield, they don't really go below 70% HP. So and plus this 6% are added, so this doesn't make a big difference. So this having a shield of 10% of your max HP, considering if you have a core on which gives you additional HP, so 10% of this one, 10% of this one will be a big shield value. So it lasts for 8 seconds and there is no cooldown. So if a user spams his ultimate, so he will get the shield value again and again. So for body core, this will be a first one. Second one, you can go for this one, which is increases your defense by 6% when HP is low. Third one, so this one is very bad when your MP is below 50% or below, then your increases defense. This is very bad. This is also a decent one for guild boss or some mode which does a lot of damage, but also not an ideal choice of a core. So but still, like if you see this one, I have this log because it has a good 2 stats. So if I'm lacking on the cores, I will go ahead and upgrade these and not worry about the passive effect, because the first priority will be getting the good stats. So third one, let's talk about spirit core. So what should be your ideal comp? So I already mentioned, like this should be your ideal core for the spirit, that decreases your skill MP consumption and MP capability. So this is the best core which you will see on every hunter. I mean most of the hunter. Second best one will be your 5% MP recovery on ultimate skill. Then you can go for the power restore with basic attacks, and then lastly will be your MP recovery when your MP drops. But that MP recovery is only one time during the whole game, so activate only once per during the combat, so that's not effective. So this is the best one you should go for that. So like for example, Kanai, let's take what is the best code for her. So for her, she spams her ultimate skill a lot. So her second basic skill converts into her ultimate skill. So if I go to her advancement, it is mentioned somewhere that she either it's an ultimate or skill. Crimson, skill damage, bonus damage. So it is there in her advancement. Yeah, so here whenever Crimson or Scarlet effect are gained, the user this skill becomes their ultimate skill. So this is very big. So her second skill becomes her ultimate skill. So this core which increases her crit damage by 20% when ultimate skill is used. So she can have this buff up almost all the time. So this is why this is the best core for her. Second one will always be the this one. Where is it? This one. Don't ignore the substat. It depends on what you have on the gear, as again I'm saying. So the second one will be your using the shield, gaining the shield when you are use ultimate skill. So she spams her ultimate skill, so this shield effect will be applicable again and again. Third one, you want to go for this one which increases her MP consumption reduction. I have this one because that's the I had early on, so I didn't got a chance to build another one which has a MP recovery consumption and is a fired one. So I'm looking for that one. So until then I'm just using this one, but you ideally want to go for this purple core which has this MP recovery consumption. Now let's talk about, let's say, Shiorin. So Shiorin, you can ideally go for this crit damage core which increases her core attack by 20%, because core attacks her do he gets by missile, the missile damage comes with the core attack as well. So this is a good one, but you don't want that which gives her attack, because she scales of HP. This has no effect on her. So ideally you want that one, or you want the whenever user uses ultimate skill, it increases her crit damage by 20%. Same goes for this one. So this one, the ideal one will be the using the ultimate skill which gives you a shield, and the last one will again will be the same thing, which either you go for the ultimate skill when increases the MP consumption, or the best one will be this one which increases the skill MP consumption. So this will all be your core guide for, like for example, for Yushinu, I have this one which gives her defense penetration because she's her damage scales over defense penetration, and increases her attack by 5% because she scales of her attack. So all this depends what stat you are missing overall. So if you see I am missing crit damage ideally, and I want to increase her defense penetration more, so I will give her 2 crit damage core and 1 defense penetration to get the ideal stat I want on her. So same thing, like if she scales of a or buff scales of a damage increase. So let me show you. If I go to the ultimate skill, HP of your defense, but here increases the entire team damage increase stat by 12% of Isla rights damage increase. So ideally you want all 3 damage increase score on her. So first will be again the stats will be the first priority, then matching the element. Same for Thomas. So you want ideally first additional defense one, then you want to focus on the other 2 cores. So the one with skills of attack, you want to focus on the additional attack one, then focus on the other 2 cores. So last thing I want to cover why additional attack percentage is good on Sangjinu. So Sangjinu scales of 2 weapons. So now we got to level 120 weapons and he has 2 weapons. So hunters only have 1 weapon. So his base attack increases a lot. So that attack percentage buffs his attack by a lot. So if I go all strength here, I'm not going to reset it because of the gold, but if you go all strength and you have 120 weapon, so if I switch between, let's say if I go to all additional attack, you can see the difference in attack. So if I go here, it's 53,256, but if I go to attack percentage, so now if you see it is 53,890. It did increase, but you might be like it's only 600 or 1k increase. It's not a big difference, but this difference will increase as you put more points in strength. So if I put 0 points in intelligence and go all strength, the difference will increase by a lot. And with level expansions, you will get more points to put in strength. So his attack will all scale very high. So ideally you want to go first of all build for your hunter, because you can use this one for Sanjinu as well as on hunters. So secondly, if you have enough cores with additional attack, then you want to focus on the Sanjinu to get additional attack on him. But the difference is not that huge, but it will scale up slowly. So you want first go for the additional attack one, so you can use it both on Sanjinu as well as on hunters, because if you build attack percentage first, because then the hunters will lack a lot of damage, a lot of attack. So I can show you the difference as well. So let's go for Kanai. So she has 42k attack and 700 with additional attack. So now I change to attack percentage, let's say. Now if you see, I lost good amount of attack. So it was like 42,700. Now I'm only 41,500. So she lost almost 1200 attack, which is a big one for the hunters. Not as big as for Sanjinu, but it is a big difference on hunters. So that's all for the code guide. If you like the video, do like and subscribe. See you next one.